Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and today I'm going to be playing through the alpha demo for Conscript, a isometric survival horror game that's heavily inspired by Resident Evil, but set in the trenches of World War I. Which I think are a very good but underutilized setting for horror media, honestly. There's a few stories and at least one movie based on horror in the trenches, as well as there was that Necro something game. But anyway, I think it's a good setting for that, and I'm curious to see how this uses it. So let's get in here. We're going to play through the whole demo because I think it's about 45 minutes, and we will not skip the introduction. June 1st, 1916. Dear Ma, I hope you're doing well. It has been 4 weeks now since we've been stationed at Verdun. It is with great relief that I can finally write back home to you. I know you've been thinking about Pierre. They sent him to the medical bunker after he was shot. I'm still stuck in this miserable support trench a few hundred meters downhill. There was no signs of infection in him, which is a miracle given the conditions we have been in. We have been fighting the Germans over the fort for weeks on end. It has swapped hands multiple times over the past months. I don't see what the point is anymore. The fort and our trench have no more artillery, our water is poisoned, and supplies are low. In 1 week, our platoon will be shifted south back to the village to resupply. It will be a relief to feel clean water on my skin once again. I will bring both of us home, Ma. Worry not. Promises made, promises kept. I will write... Oh, and here we are. We're a French soldier, which is a little weird to have him putting in the ma's and whatnot, but I assume that's what it would translate out to. I'll finish this later. Moths are flying around the flame of the lantern. Alright, so I do like the way this looks from the screenshots I've seen, and it's interesting to see how this is going to implement survival horror gameplay into this perspective. No need to be going this way. Aren't there medical supplies in there? Alright, let's go check out that noise. What's going on here, folks? Somebody get shot again? She's not responding. Seems to be in a daze. Sounds like we're getting shelled again. And they said we had no artillery left. Keep your head in trench during day and most of night. I like that we can kind of look around. I wonder if they're going to have more screens like this. I think one of the screenshots is a lock puzzle that looks kind of like it's using the same perspective there. Alright, what's in here? He was gassed yesterday. Best to just leave him. Let him suffer on his own. There's nowhere else to put them. Oh, are those just the corpses? Just leave the wounded guy in here to get infected. Well, I guess you can't really get infected from being gassed, aside from the chlorine gas and whatnot that melts your skin off, so I guess you could still get infected from your skin burns, your chemical burns. He's bleeding profusely from his stomach. It's not looking good. Sucks to be you, pal. Weapon storage. Does that mean this door over here? It's kind of a weird place to put the sign. I should speak to the commander first. Seems like we don't actually have a weapon right now. We are completely unequipped. You must be the commander because you have the red pants. Private, they are back at the fort. Our last machine gun is out. The last rounds are in the weapon storage. Run up there and bring some rounds down now. If they get down here, we're finished. What are you waiting for? You want one in the back of your head? Get moving. No ammo. Alright, let's ferry some bullets. Maybe grab a gun while we're in here. It's not responding at all. Every crate is empty. We've been out of supplies for 3 weeks now. Probably need something to smash these barrels. Those guys are not doing great in there either. The shelling is momentarily stopped. Doesn't that usually indicate that they're about to charge our trench? Someone left their gear here. I guess we can't take it. that leads to another path. I guess we can't backtrack until we get the ammo. So I'm guessing what's going to happen is we're somehow going to end up alone in these trenches suddenly. Equip weapons from your field bag. Always be ready for combat. It looks like we got a rifle here. Pick up raiding club. Okay, never mind. It's just a trench-beaten club. Homemade spike club used for raiding trenches. Designed to inflict severe bleeding and trauma. Sounds good enough. Trenches are also good for survival horror because there are some pretty nasty weapons you can get a hold of. Alright, so just like your classic survival horrors, you go into a fixed stance where you can aim your weapon. Someone's tried blocking the door to the fort. This won't hold them for long. Won't be long before we're raided, and it'll take a miracle for us to survive another one. I just want to go home. Okay, so we can't move that, and we presumably would not want to move that. LMG ammo. He was yelling gas, gas. Alright. I was not expecting there to be men out here. I think we got shelled. But yeah, I don't think we were supposed to make it back to that gun. Pierre is probably still at the fort. I need to find him. I believe that is our main goal, is to find our brother. Somebody must have dragged me in here. Jean, Henry, that's most of the platoon. I think we're now going to be alone in these trenches. First aid kit. Alright, how's my health doing? Status, well. This is where we started, right? Our letter's gone. Field Operations Manual. Various items can be used from the inventory. Weapons can be assigned to the 4 quick select buttons. Certain items can be combined to create medicines, ammunition, and tools for the field. If space is limited, consumable items and ammo can be discarded. Think carefully before doing so. Attention should always be paid to space in your field bag. Only take what is necessary for survival. Always be vigilant. The enemy can strike from anywhere. Stick to assigned trenches and only advance when ordered by the company commander. We want to bring you home to your family safely. Now, I think one of the screenshots did have a Resident Evil style inventory box in it, so we might be able to store our stuff in certain places. Got a pistol. Some lead matches. Some oil. It's completely empty. Yeah, okay, here's a storage box. So, how big is our inventory? Is it just 4 slots, or is it actually 12 slots? Because it looks like we have room for 2 more rows. Matches coated in lead can light lead lamps. Semi-automatic sidearm. Turning it in painkillers fully restores health. Well, I guess we don't need to store anything yet. So how do I put these on quick slots? Assign. Okay, so we can put these on the number keys, which is handy. Obviously, there's not a lot of old survival horrors that have anything like that. It wasn't until Resident Evil 5 that they had D-pad select. Alright, so we got our pistol, we got our club. We're ready to take on Germans or trench nightmares. Pistol rounds. Inventory is full. Okay, so we only have 4 slots right now. We'll probably be able to pick up a backpack or something to carry more. Wow, there's a lot of stuff down here. 26th of May, 1916. The Germans have been relentless in their push for the fort. The bombardment has not ceased day and night, and our trench lines are beginning to become unrecognizable. Emil was sent out to draw a map of our trench lines. He didn't want to do it, but he didn't have a choice. Despite that, he makes for a good cartographer. 1st of June, 1916. Our supplies are just about out. There's nothing left, and if the Germans recapture the fort, there is no chance we can retake it in this state. The tunnel we spent weeks digging has collapsed, and our dynamite supplies came in faulty and wet. If we had usable explosives, clearing the rubble down there could be possible, but they say all the supply lines have been shelled. Apparently, this leaves us with two options. Either we dig another one, or we try and recapture the fort by foot. Both are probably a death sentence for us. Out-of-order rifles. They don't work. This is where we throw all our broken shit. Some old tattered uniforms, complete with bullet holes. So I don't know what the significance yet of the lanterns are. Some dirty plates. I wouldn't have been so trusting leaving them here like this. You never know when someone will steal your dirty plates. It's either that or eat off the mud. Rifle rounds, 2. Again, inventory is full. Maybe I should just store my health kit for now, since we at least know where to pick up more, because we need to carry some of this ammo. At the very least, we're going to want these pistol rounds. We'll deposit the matches for now, too, until we find an unlit lantern. So there's gunpowder here, which I think we can make into bullets. Maybe we'll pick that up and put it in our box as well. I mean, I'm playing this as though I would play it if it was the full game, but, you know, that's just how you do it. You never know when you're going to actually need that to complete the demo, because there's some super strong enemy at the end. It's funny, I actually only heard about this game through Casper Crows, who is the fella that's making Alyssa, that other throwback survival horror game I looked at that has now been successfully kickstarted. It's the only video game Kickstarter I have ever backed. Usually I don't have much trust in that section of Kickstarter. I usually just stick to board games. Alright, let's not go this way because there's gas. Probably going to need to find a gas mask before we can make our way through there. Alright, so let's deposit the first aid kit. I think that was everything down here, right? There's a door going that way. We've already got a lot of paths open. Okay, never mind. We need a key. One less path to worry about. Door appears to be locked from the other side, so we also don't need to worry about that one right now. Was there ammo in here? No. What about this door? This door appears to be locked from the other side. Okay. Our paths are starting to narrow down pretty quickly. So that's all we can do here. More pistol rounds. I don't know what kind of enemies we're going to see here. I know there is going to be some living Germans, but I don't know if we're going to see zombies or mutants or undead nightmares risen from the muck and the barbed wire. The blockhouses have been locked, but we have not been told why. A key is required. Okay, so something shuffling around down here. I don't know if this is just a regular old German, or... Yeah, it doesn't sound like a regular German. My club does not seem to be drawing... Okay, there we go. You have to be completely stationary. If you try to move, the game is like, no. I thought maybe hitting them would, you know, stun them, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Now our status is danger. So clearly, you don't want to use the club for these guys, because they will club you back much harder. But yeah, there doesn't seem to be a dodge or anything, so I don't know how you would win that without taking a lot of damage. Or if the club is basically the knife equivalent here, and you're not really meant to use it. Unless you're desperate. Or need to break open a box. It said infections cured, which makes me wonder if you can actually get infected wounds in this. Alright, so we got our gun. We've got 18 rounds. It seemed like it took him down pretty quick. But we also did beat on him a bit. Is that a horse down there? I think that is a horse. It's a weird room. I thought maybe that was the tunnel that collapsed, but it doesn't really look like it went anywhere ever. LMG's all busted up. I guess we'll go back to weapon storage. Damn it. I didn't mean to shoot. I was trying to scroll wheel. Yeah, it doesn't work in both directions. You either have to scroll up or down depending on what weapon you have equipped. A large bag. It's a little bigger than your current one. Take it. Took the bag. Inventory space increased. Okay, now we have 8 slots. Fabric. Probably make some bandages out of that. Lead matches. So this seems like a bit of a safe room based on the music. Dimly lit lead lamp. Fuel the flame with a lead match and record your progress. Okay, so the lead lamps are our save points, which means we definitely don't need the matches with us normally. I guess we'll save. That way, if we die, we won't have to start the demo over, which I assume is going to be the case. Oh, and we probably don't need this fabric yet. Alright. Now we need to actually figure out where we're going. We need a key of some kind. Every crate is still empty. So this was blocked by barrels before. Okay, so here's the lock. We don't have a combination. More fabric. Does it actually say what we can do with this? Can be used to heal minor injuries or combine to create a stronger bandage? I assume we need some alcohol or antiseptic of some kind to make a full-on bandage. These our supplies weren't that low, just all the bullets were hidden in barrels, where no one would look for them. Okay, this is where we went for the LMG mag. Locked from the other side. I mean, this might actually be the way to go, because he did say that it leads to the fort. The door is unblocked. Seems like there's gas coming out of the fort, though. But from what I've seen so far, I think this would actually be pretty cool if it makes it to being a full game. killing or wounding of homing pigeons is punishable by 6 months imprisonment or large fine. We remind you that homing pigeons are doing valuable work for the government and war effort. We don't want our soldiers eating the homing pigeons. None are alive in this one. Hello, Burb. Shouldn't they have red eyes, though, if they're homing pigeons? Oh. Only one homing pigeon left here, but the cage has been locked. I need to send for help. There's also something in the cage. Emergency. They have the fort again, and are dropping heavy artillery on support trenches. There are many wounded, and we cannot evacuate. We are suffering. Send help, for heaven's sake. Emergency message. Logged in your notes. Alright, so that's another key for the list. So now I guess our only option is to head into the fort. A lot of this is probably stuff we can't even go back for in this demo, because, again, it is demo. So let's just head into the fort and see what we find. Ow. What is that? A large roll of barbed wire. You couldn't get through it even if you tried. Could be destroyed with wire cutter. We don't have wire cutter. Unless it's in here. Huh? No? Okay. This is a combination, I believe. So that's 7, 3, 9. Go back and maybe we'll get the wire cutters from that box. Seven, 3, 9? Trench key. Okay. That's maybe less useful because I don't know which of these keys. Key to bunkers in the support trench. So... who goes there? And from which direction are you running in place? Five shots, eh? I guess that other one was nearly dead when I shot it. So obviously that didn't work as intended. There is also a bit of a fog of war thing when we can't see them directly. Oh man, he has really generous range. But so do I. Does that say Oblivion? Oh, caution. I'm like, wow, that's beyond help at that point. Okay, so this key should get us in here. Okay. So it's not that locked door. Let's try the other 18 locked doors we found. I wonder if stealth is an option here. As long as we don't sprint around at full tilt, I think we can avoid them from a distance. Makeshift mask. That should protect us from the gas a little bit. Lockpick. Can we, like, piss on the mask first to make it more protective? Okay, so it's got a limited amount of time we can use it for. So how are we doing on pistol rounds? We got 19. We take about 5. Uh-oh. Yep, this is gonna be bad. Oh, got one of them. Okay, good. Their positions do reset. And as long as you're pointing in generally the right direction, you will hit them. It's not like you have to be pixel perfect. You can't even, you know, obviously he doesn't turn 100%. So it's not like you have to be aiming in the exact right spot. Which is nice for this kind of combat. The dynamite has been soaked. It's completely unusable like this. Yeah, just toss it on the fire, it'll dry right out. The door has been sealed with thick rope. It's too tightly bound to remove with your hands. Try to club the rope until it frays. I'm surprised how expansive this seems to be, though. Like, with all these demos I'm looking at, it's hard to tell when they're going to be really long and elaborate, or if it's just like one little area. More matches. A tin of poppies. You'd think we could make, like, some morphine out of those, but I don't think we can really refine them. We're gonna need this first aid kit because I got beaten pretty badly. This key is still in our inventory, so I don't know if that means we still need it, or it's just not one that gets discarded. Best not to discard important items. Okay, so we probably still have another door we can use that on. I guess if we see another rusted door, it'll count. Okay, we're still in caution, so maybe I don't need that yet. Save point. Stream of water running down the wall. Looks surprisingly fresh. Is something filtering it? I wouldn't risk it, though. Okay, do we want to get rid of anything? I think we kind of need everything we've got. That lockpick, I don't know what we're going to use it on, so it's best to just keep it with us. And we're out of extra ammo, so we can only kill one more zombie fella. Rifle rounds, but we haven't found a rifle. There's the bits of a plane here. I think it's a plane. Co-op key. It's the coop key for the pigeon. Hey look, a survivor that we can't do anything about. Probably won't be a survivor for long, though. It's interesting, though, because having the isometric perspective actually does kind of restrict your vision in the same way that having fixed camera angles in the original did. I was hitting tab there to heal. Because you still can't see very far in any direction. But it restricts your view without limiting your controls. Alright, hopefully that doesn't desync the video, because it kind of like reloads when it goes back to the menu. Okay. I mean, do we want to go this way? It seems like it would be better just to backtrack. There we go. I was wondering how I would get 5 shots on him without him getting a hit on me with that kind of angle. Shit. Kind of got a little cornered there. Hopefully this will lead to one of the locked from the other side doors. Just a rib cage down there, I think. This also does have the benefit of making it so you can't always tell what something is supposed to be, which is the same reason that I think that the PS1 style works so well for horror games. I think not being completely clear on what things are sometimes is helpful for horror, because it requires you to use your imagination to some extent and fill in. And your imagination is usually better at creating the kind of custom-tailored horror for things you're afraid of than anything a specific creator can make. Okay, some alcohol. You can get trashed like whatever lad was here. Presumably, we combine this with a bandage to make a good bandage. Nothing in there. Rifle. Inventory full. Shit. Store is locked very tightly. Well, I guess we'll come back for this rifle. Simple mechanism. Lockpick. Well, we could go and pick up the rifle now. Empty lighter. I mean, we probably need that for something. Pistol rounds, can't carry that either. But I'm hoping this connects back into the area where the other save box is. Yeah, there should be a box down here. Or not down here, it's over here. So, we have the coupe key and we have the gas mask. Well, stand-in gas mask. Cutter half we don't need until we find the other half. Lighter we don't need until we can fill it. We will grab some fabric. And I guess we'll get rid of this key for now. What do you mean cannot combine? Maybe I have to do it the other way? Okay. I guess we'll just put those both in there. Maybe I need a third item to make a first aid kit. Now it says some oil, then it says it's completely empty, so clearly there's not some oil, it's just an empty oil container. Okay, so let's go back and grab that stuff. Because, again, I think we're probably going to need the rifle for something in this demo. Definitely going to need the pistol rounds. Weird that there doesn't appear to actually be a rifle here. High-powered standard issue, low fire rate. The other reason that I think a World War I setting works for survival horror is that you don't have any particularly effective weapons, or particularly fast-firing weapons. You know, you got trench guns and bolt-action rifles, and a bunch of experimental machine guns that were not in the trenches at all, but, you know, Battlefield 1 insisted on having because people would throw a fit if you didn't put automatics in. Alright. So, the problem now is, oh geez, this map kind of doesn't help me. So I'm in here, And I think that box there... No, that's the save box. Never mind. I was going to say, I don't actually know where the pigeon was. The gas room is a dead end. I think the red rooms are... Also, the reference I can't seem to bring up. Oh. It kind of... If I press up, it kind of tries to come up. There we go. I have to hold W. Trench, dugouts, blockhouse, wire entanglement, gas leak, locked door, open door. House standing. House ruined. I wonder if that means we'll see actual buildings later? Like if we go back to the village and it's destroyed. But yeah, where was that pigeon coop? I guess it's probably where that pigeon is, so we need to go back. So we'll go for the gas room first. Pretty sure this is going to end up being a fairly long video. Alright, so we have a limit... Oh god, what are those? They don't seem like they really want much to do with us, honestly. Gas crawlers. Wow, this mask is not lasting long. Okay, there's a lockpick door there. Oh man, it's even worse up here. Gas mask? Shotgun shells. Well, that's not going to help me for long. This shell exploded last week, and was supposed to be transported to the fort to flush them out of the basement. Oh, so this is our own gas that's killing me. Trench shotgun. Now that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to start dying. Alright, that hurt. I'm almost dead again. Well, now I have too many weapons, and it might be worthwhile to get rid of the club. We're just gonna equip the shotgun for safety. Chemical fluid. Who's hiding in the wall there? Gone now. Assortment of different chemicals can be combined with lead powder to create ammo. Lead powder? You mean gunpowder? Because I'm pretty sure that's not lead. That worked out. Seems like I can't actually reload the shotgun. Oh, you actually have to click to pump it. That's clever. So the shotgun is not a quick weapon to use either. Barbed wire on the wall. This was not here before. Okay, so we unlock the door that leads to the pigeon anyway, so that's convenient. Open door. So we can go with the top left, apparently. What kind of treasure you got for me, pigeon? It's dead. There's no way to communicate with outside trenches now. God help me. There's something at the back of the cage. Okay. Can I just use the key? Weird that that one needed me to use it. You open the cage, but it's too late. Something at the back of the cage. A lockpick. Great. Went all that way just for a lockpick. Alright, well, we did see a simple door, but wasn't that in the poison zone? No, it was next to the poison zone, so let's backtrack there. Still not really sure what we're trying to do. I guess we're still trying to get into the fort. Which is probably where the demo ends? Where does this lead? It leads to nowhere we've been. But it sounds horrible. Crates full of barbed wire. Okay, this is going to be where the evil barbed wire comes in. This door has been completely sealed with barbed wire. The only way to get through is to cut it. I mean, do we want to get through there? There's evil whispers. That seems like where all the dark trench magic is coming from. Okay. What is this? Probably a body? Or a body cocoon? Bandages. So the fabric we have is not even bandages, which is probably why I can't combine it. Lighter fluid. Alcohol. Rustling sound. The shelf is lined with various old medicines and ointments. There are 3 health vials hidden amongst the medicines. The burrito is stirring. Cease. So we got the lighter fluid, which we can put in the lighter. Okay, that leads back to the poison. Or no, this is locked. Yeah. That's probably one we can open with the trench key. Which also connects back, so we are kind of linking up the trenches here. But we need to find the other half of the wire cutters. That's our, I think, main objective. Okay, so this leads to the fort. And we can't go in there because we don't have the wire cutters. So I guess maybe we need the lighter to burn the rope that we saw earlier, because we haven't found anything sharp aside from half of wire cutters. Okay, so there's a save point there. Where else do we need to go? There's a lot of locked doors. I think the rope was in the squiggly hallway. Alright, so let's see. Let's deposit the weapons we don't have any ammo for now. We'll take out the alcohol, the empty lighter, combine that with the fuel. Can light object if fueled, enough fuel to last the night, which means it won't run out again. Fully restores health and cures infections. Okay. So, okay, we can save. I really didn't expect to have to do so much inventory management in the demo, though. Probably want the rifle rounds. Key. I wanted to see if this gunpowder is what it's talking about. I don't think it would be. Well, it says powdered lead. Mixed with more lead to create mixed gunpowder. Don't think that's how gunpowder works, but I'm not the expert. Created pistol rounds. Which I will deposit as well. Take the rifle rounds. So we're kind of carrying a lot of stuff. probably save. I don't know how long we've been going for, but I was just planning on doing this whole demo in one video. Maybe 45 minutes was a little bit of a hasty estimate, though, based on where I read it. But we'll try to keep a good clip and not spend too much time looking around. I think we've seen most of the area by this point. Okay, so we're here. So we want to go back up. Hopefully we can discard this key as well. But I think we can open a shortcut over here. So from here, let's see. There's a door down there we can't open. But we want to go up, I think. Yeah, this one's locked from the other side, which means it's probably a shortcut from somewhere else. So we head up and to the right. And I don't have a weapon equipped. Wait, is this the squiggly hall? Okay, yeah, so it's actually, I think, the door at the bottom right, then. Because that's just this door here. I assume there's going to be a blockhouse key to those somewhere. Thankfully, enemies don't seem to really respawn. Which, in any survival horror, you don't really want respawning enemies, because you have limited ammo. I guess I didn't pick up those earlier. Did go in here. So that door must be the one down here. I still think this is pretty cool, though. It's definitely got an atmosphere of dread to both the music and the general presentation. I'm gonna be annoyed if it's like, oh, you need something to burn this with. You know, like we need to cover the rope in something. Probably waxed rope anyway. Okay, so we actually did make progress here. A revolver. Man, they are not hesitant about giving you a lot of weapons in this demo. Something's coming. Okay. Just a big X over this area. And since I put my club away, I can't break open that crate. What does it say about this? Standard issue French revolver. Single act Gaton with a 6-round chamber. So I'm hoping that going in there triggered something, because they did make it sound like the lighter was a key item. Fuck. Kinda thought that one shot would be enough at that range. Well, now what do we do? Have I been down here? I have, because we had a loop already connected. However, there now seems to be gas out here. And we don't have another mask. Alright, well. don't think we're gonna make it through here. I'm just looking at the map, like, what might be accessible to us now. Okay, you can't survive that gas for long. Game over. I will say that's one thing, one kind of progression that I'm not a fan of, is when it's just go in this room and it triggers something somewhere else without any real indication of what it triggered. Oh boy, we're all the way back here. Alright, maybe we'll just take the other way this time. This is the right way, right? Yeah, we'll just head off in this direction, which I think is the way we were supposed to go, because I think the gas only appears after the shaking and essentially funnels you in the other direction. Okay. Because there's definitely no enemies left in here. I killed them all. So that was a lot faster than going all the way through the rest of the trench. I mean, cannot use this here. We already used this here. I did get the fuel, right? I thought I saved after getting the fuel. Yep, enough fuel to last the light. I'm just not standing in the right spot. So, use... Rope is burnt away. So grab the revolver. Go up here just to make sure that if something has to be triggered, it's actually triggered. So, we don't want to go that way because it's just full of gas. Huh. Wanted to see if the rifle was a one-shot. It's also not a one-shot, and also has to be bolted. I mean, it's a little cheap that you can run away then run back, but you could also do that in Resident Evil, and in the older ones, enemies would reset to their positions. Okay, I wasn't sure he reacted to that. 2 shots. Beginning to think the rifle is maybe not very effective. Alright. I also have to cycle the revolver to the next chamber, because it's single action, I guess? Would make sense for World War I. That's the save room. So hopefully this is leading us to the end of the demo, because we have them going pretty long now. Sure, we'll grab the rifle rounds, even though this rifle's crap. I mean, one thing you should be able to say about World War I weapons is that they were not underpowered. In fact, they were overpowered enough that it was only after that they started making smaller cartridges because they realized that what they had was overkill for the average human. Okay, so that's all of our rifle rounds. Shotgun we still have ammo for. It seems like our most effective weapon. Making sure none of these doors popped open in the shaking. mean, this has to be the right way to go because all these enemies appeared. It's still locked very tightly. Okay. I guess we'll just head back towards the fort. It seems like the only way to go from here. I didn't unlock this door from the other side. Oh, okay, it opened from both sides. Okay, so from here, can't go anywhere there. Yeah, I don't know where to go. We never found the other half of the cutter. Status is okay. It's such a minimal item to be progress gated by. One thing I'm not sure is if the shotgun is actually more damaging at close range. Doesn't seem like it. Alright, so this is a dead end. Right? Nothing going on there. We don't need the trench lighter anymore. I was hoping maybe that door popped open. Alright, well, if we can't find it over here, then I'm gonna need to stop recording and try to find it so that we can finish up with the demo. Because I think we've been going for like an hour now. Yeah, the barbed wire's still here. Well, I guess then I'm gonna have to start looking. But first, before we do that, let's head down to where I'm going to start looking, just to make sure I didn't miss anything there. Pocket watch. Inventory full. What would I want a pocket watch for? I feel like that's probably an important item. Maybe we trade it to the guy whose eyes are in the wall in order to get the other half of the thing? Alright, yeah, because the only other place I would look is down here, where the gas is. I'm guessing the gas is over on that side. That's actually in the next trench over. So, I guess we'll come back with the resolution to this, but until then, hold tight for the 2 seconds of transition between now and then. Alright, well, I found the other half of the cutter, and big surprise, it was in the room where the shaking was. Apparently I didn't notice you could open this locker. So we ran all the way around the map for no reason. But now that we have these, we can open up 2 different areas. We can go to the horrible death door, or we can go into the fort. I did pick up the pocket watch, but it doesn't seem to be anything important because it's his brother's pocket watch. So I assume that doesn't do anything right now, though someone asked about it in the forum for this game, and the developer said it does something very secret. Smiley face. So I assume maybe that's used for something special. But this whole time I was looking for, like, hey, maybe that tunnel that they said collapsed had been knocked open again by the shaking. Nope. Just a cutter just lying there where we could pick it up. So that's on me. I do think that every survival horror game should use the feature from Resident Evil 1 Remake, where it, indicates on the map that a room has been cleared or not of items. Because it is so helpful. And there's not really any reason not to have that. It's not like it really gives the game away to be like, oh, here's a tiny thing you didn't notice in this corner. Okay, so that door's still locked very tightly. Both the doors we need to try to get through are in the bottom left, or the upper left, rather. But hey, I guess it made sense that enemies all spawned around that room because that's where the item was supposed to be, and I just didn't notice it. I did kill quite a few of them, and I found some more pistol rounds, so I switched back to the pistol and tossed the revolver, since it doesn't seem any stronger than the rifle. Alright, do we want to go to the evil barbed wire room? I feel like that might be the end of the demo. I kind of want to see what's in the fort, but then the fort also seems like it might be the end of the demo. I do like these little screens, though, that you can look around, though I wonder if there's ever going to be a time where you need to look around. The wire has been destroyed. Let's get in here quick before it grows back. I think something is behind me. Alright, just run into the blood. 1 second of gas max soldier. Okay. So, yeah, that was an ending, but probably the bad one. That was very bizarre. Okay, well, I assume there's another ending for going into the other direction. Where did I save? I saved all the way back here. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to go back and get the cutter and then run all the way back here, and we'll see what's in the fort once we cut our way through that wire. So let's transition once again. Alright, so now we're back here with the wire cutter, and let's see what's going on in the fort. And if we can find our brother, or some sign that he was still alive. I have a feeling he's just not going to be there at all. Also, let's pick up the watch on the way. No idea if it'll do anything, but if you look at it here, Father's old broken pocket watch, handed down to Pierre. He never leaves home without it. So did he drop it when he got shot, or does that mean he has been out of the fort? Alright, so there is more gas coming out of the vents over there, but hopefully we don't have to go through a gas section. Since we don't have another mask, there was only one in this whole demo. Presumably in the main game there will be an actual gas mask at some point too. Okay, if there's gas in here, I'm just gonna die. Oh, good, there's a small cavern between the gas. Oh, it's closing in. It's too late for him. Take the gas mask? Sure. You took the mask. Equip it in the inventory. Well, just as I was about to say, there's probably going to be a gas mask in the main game. Greatly reduces visibility, can protect against mustard gas. Okay. So this has to actually be used for something. I'm assuming now we want to go back to the trenches that are full of gas. Because it's the only other area with gas that we couldn't get through. Okay, let's take that off for now, just in case any enemies have spawned. We don't even know if that was one of our guys or a German. But I guess he was already dying of not having the gas mask on fast enough. So, we don't have to feel bad about letting him die the rest of the way. War is hell, especially the war in the trenches. It's interesting how, after that, it became kind of universally accepted that the trenches were not a good method of warfare. I mean, also, the improvements in, artillery accuracy and whatnot that developed after World War I meant that they were not as effective for what they were originally designed for. But still, it was a very limited period in history, it seems, that we used trenches. Alright, yeah, so we just want to keep going to the right. Because I hope that going through that door is not the only end to this demo, because it's a pretty lackluster end there. Okay. Gas mask on. There are enemies in here as well. So clearly something is going on in this area. I do agree with some of the comments that this game has very good sound design. However, having to pump a shell out after reloading is a little silly, because you're just pumping out a usable shell. But it has very good sound design, and it's nice that you can hear enemies coming from a direction before you actually see them, which is also very Resident Evil, when you'd hear an enemy shuffling off screen. Not much left of his leg anymore. The rats probably got to it. Just the leg, though. The rest of it they didn't have much of a taste for. Horse corpses are blocking the path. They must have fallen in. Of course they did. Okay, so that seems like where we want to go, is that little path down there. Something makes me think that if this is how the main game is going to go, then you are going to lose your gas mask at some point, because it seems kind of overpowered to have this early on an infinite supply of gas clearing. Fabric. I discovered that what you're supposed to do with fabric is combine two of them together to make a bandage. I guess there's not enough material there otherwise. Okay, there's a door there, which is not on our map. I don't think that was there before. Explosive storage is always locked. You can make out the faint smell of gunpowder through the door. I like that you can hear our own breathing through the gas mask in the quiet rooms. Alright, this looks pretty final. Rifle rounds. It's a large bag. Maybe there's nothing else here. Executed for cowardice. Yeah, it looks like that there's no other reason to go down here. So maybe there is only one end to this demo, and that's for later, you know? That's for the actual game that we would go down there and get that. Still, I think it was worth doing that little extra bit. But I think we've seen as much as we can see. So I'm kind of debating, do I want to back this game as well? Because I don't really want to be backing multiple game Kickstarters. I don't want to get into a trend of that. But at the same time, with certain individual developers, where it already seems like they have an idea of what they're doing with it and where they want to go, like, you know, the Alyssa Kickstarter, he at least showed off a bunch of stuff from later in the game already, so clearly he knows where he's going with it. That kind of thing I can get behind. It's developers who are trying to be way more ambitious than it seems like they're able to actually be, is where you get into the Kickstarters where they just take the money and run, like with the Stomping Lands. But alright, that is the demo for Conscript. It seems very cool, and I dig this different kind of take on survival horror, because I wouldn't have said off the top of my head that a isometric view could really work well for survival horror, but this seems to have proved me wrong. Of course, I still haven't actually taken a look at Darkwood, which I've been meaning to forever, so that might also be a good example of top-down survival horror. But until next time, I've been Shadefire, here in the trenches, and I hope you'll join me with future horrific trenches, if we return to this game, as we hopefully will. Till then, take care, folks.